So I don't know if any of you have heard, but singer Chappell Roan, she's a new up and coming singer. I don't know much about her, but I know like the girlies, the Gen Z girlies love her. So she's an up and coming singer, and she came onto the internet to basically curse everybody out. Not curse everybody out, but she essentially like came on the internet to condemn the idea that public figures are also public property, if that makes any sense. And I really, it kind of lit up the internet. Everybody was like, excuse me. Of course, it triggered a lot of debate. You know, you have the people who were like, yeah, supportive of this. Like, of course, celebrities are not public property. And then you have the people who are like, oh, well, you owe it to your fans and you need to be available for your fans and blah, blah, blah. So let me just play what she said, because she let people know. And we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
I don't care that abuse and harassment, stalking, whatever, is a normal thing to do to people who are famous or a little famous, whatever. I don't care that it's normal. I don't care that this crazy type of behavior comes along with the job, the career field I've chosen. That does not make it okay. That doesn't make it normal. It doesn't mean I want it. It doesn't mean that I like it. I don't want whatever the fuck you think you're supposed to be entitled to whenever you see a celebrity. I don't give a fuck if you think it's selfish of me to say no for a photo or for your time or for a hug. That's not normal. That's weird. It's weird how people think that you know a person just because you see them online or you listen to the art they make. That's fucking weird. I'm allowed to say no to creepy behavior, okay?
She came with some strong words. And so obviously she incited some strong reactions. And I think, a lot of people were siding with her. A lot of people were like, yeah, celebrities are not public property. Like they are not, you are not entitled to their time, their energy, hugs. You're not entitled. And then there was the other side that was, like celebrities make your money. Without them, I'm not celebrities, fans. Without the fans, you would be nothing. So you owe it to your fans to be constantly available to them. And to me, I agree with Chappell Roan. I'm team Chappell Roan in this instance. And I like the way she articulated it in the fact that it's like, guys, let's really like put a microscope or a magnifying glass on this behavior and put it into context. It's not normal to go up to a complete stranger and demand a bunch of stuff from them and expect that from them just because you like the art that they make or you like the content that they create. It don't really make sense if you really take out the celebrity factor of it. And I agree 110%. I feel like, we are seeing like this shift. I've talked about this a bunch of times. We're seeing this shift in Hollywood, of like Hollywood itself, like the industry itself, and not just the industry, but like what people expect from people within the industry and what, the standards and protocol are in how to deal with people within the industry moving forward. We talked about how Hollywood is going through this big shift, and I think this is part of the shift. Like, it's not just about us kind of like cleaning out the muck from Hollywood and like shining a light on all the things that are going on behind the closed doors and in the closets. I also think that the shift we're seeing is in how we relate to celebrity. A lot of people have been talking about how celebrity is this like, crazy entity, if you will. And that, from both angles, right? Like the angle of the idea that a celebrity is above everybody. They're better than everybody. They're this sacrosanct, holy person that can do no wrong, And then on the flip side, the expectation of how fans relate to the people that they're fanning over, to how they relate to the celebrities that they stan, And I think these are important conversations that we're having because, back in the day when Hollywood first started, right? Long time ago, like what's that? The early 1900s. Raise your hand if you were born in the 1900s. So back in the day when Hollywood first started, we were in that like studio system, and it started at a time when like actors and actresses, if you guys remember, right? Remember when we took Shakespeare back in the day, back in high school, we learned that actors and actresses were basically considered like the scum of the earth, that actresses were considered no better than sex workers or prostitutes, as they would say, and that they were considered on the same like level because, you know, that's what they were seen to be, right? And so when media was developed, when we started with film and then TV, that mentality was like a holdover. And so actors, especially in like the early ages, like the non-talkies, right? The silent movies, the black and white silent movies, at that time, those actors and actresses were getting exploited like a motherfucker. I mean, we know they're still getting exploited today, but at that time, like, this is pre-unions, this is pre-SAG, this is pre-AFTRA, this is you know, all of the equity unions and stuff. This is pre all of that, when actors were just exposed to predatory ass producers and executives in the business. And so, you know, eventually we got to the point where, like, yes, we did create unions to protect actors, but that belief that like actors are here to be what the hell you want them to be, and that is it, and that they have no agency, that performers have no agency, that they just, you know, because they perform, because they make music, because they make content, because that they belong to the people. And so that kind of has been a mentality that has permeated the industry, and how we as consumers of content, of music, of media, how we perceive the industry and how we perceive those who are working within the industry. And it's colored our vision as fans to think that like we should have 100% access to these people. We should be able to say whatever we want, do whatever we want. They should be grateful that, you know, we are engaging with their art, and we are consuming their art and their entertainment. And I love that in 2024, you know, we're starting to reassess these values, and we're starting to reassess how we perceive things. And we're starting to have these conversations like, should we be able to just run up to a complete stranger just because they make music and they're famous? Should we be able to demand a photo? Should we be able to get upset when we don't get the photo, when they say no? Are we entitled to be upset when someone sets a boundary and says, hey, you know what? I don't want to take that picture. I don't want to hug you, a complete stranger in the street. I think it's really great that we're starting to have these conversations about what exactly celebrity is and what do we want celebrity to be moving forward.